1, 2, 3. As far as mid-season finales go, not only was that incredible and intense, but I expected the amount of answers I got. I actually feel like I got more answers than I expected. So as far as waiting goes, I feel like I'm in a sort of good place. The first thing I want to talk about, I think this is the first thing I want to talk about, is Parrish, who is a hellhound. I called it. I made a post on Tumblr. I was like on a train in the morning reading the Wikipedia page for hellhounds, and it was like, oh yeah, like fire. I completely forgot about the connection about them saying black dogs earlier this season with Kira's mom, but I'm so glad that they brought that back up again and tied it back in. But I'm so glad that those black dogs turned out to be hellhounds because, I can't even express my joy because hellhounds are just depicted in so many different ways in other series, and I love adding more depictions to popular mythological creatures, and I'm just like, yes. Like, does Parrish have a dog form? Or does he just sit around and like breathe fire and just have glowy eyes? Like, there's so much to explore with this, and I'm so happy. I'm so excited. That turned out to be pretty much the high of this episode. The emotional joy peaked with Parrish, with the discovery that Parrish was a hellhound. The other high of this episode for me, and it's not a moment necessarily, but just like, I would like to take the time to applaud Cody Christian for existing. Cody, you have done such an incredible job this season, and no doubt in the hiatus I will probably make a video that is entirely dedicated to you and your performance. And I was really afraid that you were gonna die today, and you didn't. And to be honest, I'm kind of happy about that. I know that Theo is a terrible person, but I still stand strong to what I've been saying this entire season, is that you can love a character for the way they're written and not the person that they are. And I think that Theo is just a really well-crafted villain. I got super nervous when he started like revealing all his plans early on. I was like, oh no, and then he sort of like went off the edge of the mental cliff at the end and started just like stabbing Lydia and screaming at Lydia as he brought his zombie chimeras back to life. And I was like, oh no, Theo's gonna at least fake die. But he didn't even fake die. He's still alive, and we get to watch him emotionally torment us for the rest of the season, and I don't know how much fun that's going to be now that everyone essentially knows that Theo is a psychopath, but I'm very glad that he does get to stay around. Speaking of the zombie chimera army, I knew that Hayden was gonna live. Like, it was the same sort of feeling I got in season 3A, in Frayed, when they zoomed in on Scott's face and they were like, I can't believe Derek's dead. I just sat back and I was like, bullshit, Derek's dead. Bullshit, Hayden's dead. There's no way that they're writing her off. That's just not possible. And it's not possible. She's now under Theo's thumb, under some sort of mind control, but you know, she's alive, and we're probably gonna write her out of it so that she can go back to being with Liam. At least, I sincerely hope so, but she's not dead. So that's the important thing. The important thing that comes along with that is, oh my God, Tracy is alive. I don't know why I'm so emotionally compromised and just so pleased with the fact that Kelsey Chow is on the show, but like, she's alive, and I am so happy about that. I'm just so happy that we get more Tracy. I really hope that in season 5B. She has better luck than she did in 5A, and I hope that we can rehabilitate her and make her part of the pack, because that's just incredible, and I want to keep her and cuddle her, and I can't really explain why. I was super worried for a little bit that Donovan was going to be there, but it looks like Donovan wasn't there, and hopefully it'll stay that way, because I'm not ready for that emotional trauma of Styles having to realize that the guy that he killed on accident is coming back to life, and he's probably going to be super upset with Styles, so I just don't want that to be a plot line. I'm pretty sure that's not happening. Let's keep it that way. But at the same time, when I saw the army rising, I had this question in the back of my head. I was like, okay, we know that Scott McCall didn't die. He died for a moment in the library, which is presumably what Lydia was talking about earlier, but he's not dead, because it's Teen Wolf, and he's the Teen Wolf. We know that Hayden's not dead. She was the other character death that wasn't really a character death, thanks Jeff. I have one person that's unaccounted for, who, there was a scene that I think was supposed to give me closure, but there was no words in that scene, so I refuse to accept it as closure, and I will continue to fret about this person for several months, and that person is Papa Stilinski. Like, Styles ran in, the man was covered in blood, he gripped his hand, and then it cut. It's like, okay, so were you in time to save your father? Or were you in time to watch your father die? Because if someone at MTV wants Styles to be an orphan, I want to sucker punch that person, because that's not allowed. That's just not allowed. That's not allowed to happen, and I will fight you. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be a reassuring thing that, like, okay, the sheriff was alive on the ground, but like, is he still alive? Like, there was a lot of time after that in the episode that they remained unaccounted for, and I just want to make sure that that Styles and his father are both okay, and that they can talk this through. Oh god, they're gonna have to talk about Donovan. I'm gonna get really emotional, but we don't have to deal with that for 4 months. Another Styles scene that happened that was beautiful was Styles and Theo. That scene was both awesome because Styles was all like, and he cared about Scott, and he was just so angry, and he was just beating the shit out of this chimera, and he was a human, and he was beating him up, and it was awesome and exhilarating, but at the same time, it was heartbreaking because Theo was just on the ground. He's just like, yeah, you're angry. This is what I mean. This is why I want you, because you're so dark inside. And I was like, stop talking to him like that. He's not like you. He just has to deal with a lot of problems right now. But that scene was so, so great. And it makes me really happy to know that Dylan and Cody were just really excited to film it, because I was really excited to watch it, even though I was terrified. There was Theo setting up the thing with Liam, and Theo let Liam in so he could beat the shit out of Scott, and that was just super emotional. I found out earlier today that they were both on set, so like I wasn't really worried about either of them, but a lot of the time when it comes to the show, it's not so much being worried about the actual end of whether your favorite character's heart is beating or not, and it's more about what they feel when their heart is beating and how much emotional trauma they're going to have to go through. Wasn't that super poetic? I really liked that. Though for a hot second there, I really, really thought that Mason was going to die. I was like, they wouldn't do that. They can't do that, right? But I was so ready for Liam to just like be punching Scott, and Mason was going to be like, no, dude, and then Liam was going to turn around and be like, Barr! And then I was going to scream. Let's talk about Malia and Styles, because that scene was so great and so heartbreaking, because she knew about Donovan the whole time, and they were lying to each other, which is really bad, especially with Stalia, because of all the things we know happened in season 4. So I don't know how the two of them are standing right now. I don't know where their relationship is or where it's going, but she knew about Donovan, and she just told him, just like she told him at the beginning of 3B in Echo House. She was just like, I won't judge, and she was just like, I'm glad that you survived, and I don't care that you killed him. And then Styles got very emotional because he was like, I took a human life, of course I care. And they had like a really silent fight, and like nothing violent was said, but the way he got out of the car and the way they filmed her face afterwards makes me feel like that was like not a good Stalia scene. But I enjoyed watching it because she knew, and I just get really emotional about Malia sometimes. Okay, just let me be. She wants to go kill her mom, which, you know, we don't want, but like, is valid. I'd at least want to go talk to my mom and be like, birth mom, why you want to kill me? But Jeff said on Wolf Watch that we're going to find that out next season. So that's something super exciting we can all look forward to. But her mom knows that she's alive, which makes me really worried because like the last time we saw her and she was talking about her daughter, she was with Deaton. So like, where is Deaton? Is Deaton okay? Those are the two people I'm worried about. I'm really worried about the sheriff and I'm really worried about Deaton. Do not kill either of those wonderful mentoring men. We got Brayden, and Megan Tandy lied. She lied straight to our faces because she said she wasn't gonna be in it, and then she was. And I was like, I totally knew that you were lying, Megan. Just such lies, such lies. But while you're here and while we have you, I know that it's been like your life goal to like find the desert wolf and supposedly kill her and like put her out of business. But like, where did you leave your boyfriend? Where is your boyfriend? Is he safe? Did you guys like get an apartment in South America and he's living with Cora? Because if that's not the answer, I'm gonna be really, really upset. Other characters that had great scenes today were Melissa McCall. She's always so good and so on point with her emotional talks. And she just chest compressed her son back to life and she was like, roar Scott, roar Scott. And then we were all like, roar Scott, roar Scott. And then Scott was like, roar. And we were like, yeah. Liam was really great, even though he was punching Scott half the time. And then he was crying over Hayden's body. And that was just so emotional. But, oh God, just wonderful performances from everyone, and bless the Teen Wolf cast. Bless the Teen Wolf cast for everything that they do, because today's episode just did not stop. It just kept going. Just kept going. So as far as the upcoming season goes, I'm very excited to learn more about the Desert Wolf. I'm very excited to find out why the doctors are on this crusade. Presumably it has something to do with saving themselves, but like, what was that last scene? What was that last scene with them knocking down the wall and then there was a mural there? I'm just very confused about what the Dread Doctors want and why they're here and what that mural means. Like, let's clear that up, because I have no answers. And I'm really excited and confused about how Theo is really gonna fit into Beacon Hills after this. I'm all for you leading your pack of chimeras, but you, like, everyone in Beacon Hills, like everyone that you said you wanted in your pack now knows that you're a sociopath and knows that you're evil. So I don't really know. Are you still planning on getting them in your pack? Are you still gonna go to high school with them, even though everyone knows that you were killing people and that you're the reason that Lydia's getting institutionalized because you did the back of the neck thing without actually having any training? You heavily injured Styles' father. So like, are you gonna continue to go to school? Because I feel like that's just gonna be really awkward for everyone involved, except you, because you're a sociopath and you probably don't feel awkward about any of this. Is Hayden going back to school? Or are you just gonna go MIA with the teenagers that you stole? I'm really excited to get all of those questions answered, because I don't really know what your plan is now, because you revealed all of your past plans, and I don't know what you're doing. But besides that, tonight was great. Thanks for watching this, and we'll see if I can't make some sort of other videos as the season goes on. Also, if you're a fan of MTV Scream, or if you're not, because you should start watching it now that you have a void to fill with your life and the Teen Wolf hiatus, don't forget to subscribe to our Banshee Scream channel, which you can see here, featuring me and Ashley. Hopefully we can all survive the hiatus together, and we will figure it out somehow, because if we can survive the emotional trauma during the season, I'm sure we can all appreciate a couple months break to breathe and just worry ourselves sick to the point of vomiting over what our favorite teenagers are gonna do. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Brianna.
And these have been our reactions to the first half of
Teen Wolf Season 5.